Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. And Mama Bees has given me the one, so I guess you guys can hear me so I can proceed. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so before I get started on my recap, I just want to go over a couple of things. One being, yesterday I was a little turned up because it's episodes like the one I recapped on yesterday that gets me a little turned up for several reasons. It's because of the toxicity, especially when this group of people are supposed to be held to a higher standard because they're doctors. And then, secondly, the bullying, you know, it's just getting a little out of control with this reality TV stuff. And then the other thing is, I know for myself, like, I don't go on vacation with everybody. If I know that you have a reputation of always having drama, getting into the mess on vacation, then under no circumstances will I go on vacation with you. All it takes is for one time for you to show me that that's what it's going to be, then I will not vacation with you. I mean, because to go on vacation, and don't get me wrong, I know this is reality TV. I know these people get paid to do this, but it's still not a good look. And it's not a good representation of Black excellence. Okay. So I just have to put that there. And Heavenly has been warned lots of times. Okay. So until people continue to call her out to the point where not only she gets frustrated, but her family, especially her husband, gets frustrated that, nothing will be done. So I'm hoping that, after her family gets tired of seeing her name in the media, they will actually do something. Thanks, Mama Bees. I will definitely put my banner up. Thanks for that. So that's why, it's time that we hold these people accountable because we do want to enjoy reality TV, but we do have our limits, okay? And we do have standards when it comes to reality TV. So I'm going to get into my recap. And as far as Wags to Riches go, um, I think they have a good equation of the mess, the drama, you know what I'm saying, but also the display of Black excellence. They have a combination of both. So it's not just, drama and toxicity. They also display Black excellence on this show. So I don't get as upset and, when watching this show. So this episode of Wags to Riches, season 1, episode 6, They Not Like Us. It didn't have a whole lot going on this episode. It started out with Ashley and her husband Philip. They were in their backyard playing football with their kids, and she was sharing with her husband that she was going to be hosting a fundraiser. Um, and the money would go towards homeless veterans because, as you already know, most of you guys know, um, she was in the army as well as Sherelle. So, this particular fundraising event comes close to home with her because she is a veteran. Okay. So the highlight of this episode was when Sherelle and some of her agents were at her real estate office, her daughter included. So she's, bringing her daughter around the office so she can pick up on things. And I'm pretty sure when she's old enough, she's going to go into the same business as well. She's going to probably bring her daughter up under her wing, which is a great thing. So Sherelle's investor slash banker, Benasia, stopped by the office so that her and Sherelle can talk about numbers for a new project that Sherelle has coming up. The project is estimated at $20 million. Okay. So she will need to put 20% down, which is going to be about $4 million for this particular project. So she was just confirming with her banker that the funds will be available for her to move forward with this project. And she also shared with Sherelle that she should be able to close in about 3 weeks. So after she had the conversation, privately in her office with her banker, she goes out in her office and she makes the announcement to her agents that she is about to be a rich ass developer. Okay. So she was very excited about that. And that is really huge. I want to point that out. That is really huge for a Black female. Okay. So shout out to Sherelle. Hey, Paula, thank you so much for being here. Hey, Sharon Gottbalt, thank you so much for being here. And she said, I just popped in to show my support. I really appreciate it. And hit the like button. I don't have Netflix, so I don't watch WAGs. Everyone enjoy your day. Okay, not a problem. And I don't blame you because every time you turn around, Netflix is going up. I tell you. Um, so yes, that is very huge, for Sherelle. So again, shout out to her for that. So with this project, Sherelle will be developing affordable homes in Tampa, and she was awarded a lot to build 6 townhomes for families that can't afford the high market in Florida. And I don't know if you guys know, but Florida has gotten so expensive to live in Florida. Okay. Hey, Cece, thank you so much for being here, sis. So, Sherelle also, in her confessional, wanted to say, everybody thinks that she's a mean girl, but she does a lot for her community, a lot for her friends, and for just people in general, you know. So maybe she feels like she's earned the right to be a mean girl. I think that's where she was going with that. But it's never okay to be a mean girl. Okay. And if you did all of those things, that she mentioned and wasn't a mean girl, she would be even a more amazing person. I'm just saying. But she is definitely helping to close the gap on affordable housing, which is a big issue right now. So shout out to Sherelle for being in an industry where there are not many Black developers. That is absolutely amazing. And I love that for her and her agency because, like some other people, Sherelle really does want to take everybody with her. Like some people like to win all on their own, but Sherelle seems to be the type that she wants everybody to win. And that's a good quality to have in a friend. So Alexis goes on a date at the beach with Jonathan, who is a man that Ashley set her up with. So they hit it off the first time when they met at the restaurant when Ashley was actually present. So they planned a beach day and he had a nice, beautiful picnic set up, champagne included. So he definitely earned some points for that. He's a very, very classy guy, and the whole setup was very nice. And they seem to have chemistry. Now, don't let me just say this, I'm a pretty open person. I will say that. And Mama B says, I like him for her. I do too. It's just something about their energy together that I like. Now, I'm a pretty open person, but on the flip side of that, I'm also a very reserved person. Okay. So on this beach day, I actually had on a thong, ladies. She had a cover up on, a netted cover up. But for me, on a first date, that was a little too much. That was showing just a little too much skin. She would have looked better with just a one-piece bathing suit on without all of that, all of her assets hanging out. I'm gonna just say that. And she's not a small person, she's kind of got some junk in her trunk. And I think that was a little much. Like, I don't even know how the man was able to focus with all of that going on. So if that were me, I think I would have not showed so much skin. As a matter of fact, even though we were at the beach, I probably would have had on a nice little short set and not a bathing suit at all. But that's just me because I don't get in the water anyways. And I just don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. Okay. So that's just me. But if you like showing skin, that's perfectly okay because when I am going out to a club, I'm still very classy, but you know what I'm saying? I expect to see people showing a little skin. Okay. And I personally love to wear dresses. I'm just a dress girl. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to see me in a dress or a jumper. That's just what it is. So where was I? And so they, had some conversation, and the conversation kind of came up like, why was he still single? And he said he gets asked that question a lot. And so she was just like, yeah, why are you single? And he did say that, he has been dating, but this time around, if he decides to be serious with somebody, he wants the end goal to be marriage. And she pretty much feels the same way. She has also been dating, and it sounds like she's been having casual sex partners. She's single, but they both kind of are over the whole dating scene and routine. So now they both kind of want to move forward in dating with a purpose. Okay. So now it's the day of Ashley's fundraising event, which is going to be with Alexander Wang. And I really love the clothes that I seen during that scene. So again, she will be raising money for the homeless veterans. So she invited all of her rich and successful friends to come and shop to raise money for this good cause. So it was a lot of people at this event, and they were shopping, they were having champagne. She even had some type of smoothies, like healthy smoothies going on. But of course, she tried to get Sherelle to drink a smoothie and not drink so much champagne. But Sherelle says, when I drink champagne, I spend a lot of money. So I think you want me to drink champagne. And she agreed. And she was just like, yeah, I'll give you a smoothie to take home because the goal is to shop, shop, shop till you drop. So they were shopping, trying on clothes, doing their little fashion show thing, which I thought was really cute that they would try on their clothes and then they would come out and model the clothes for everybody to see. So that was a really cute concept. So Jules showed up, and as usual, Sherelle decided that it was a good time to pull her to the side and have a conversation about the last time they were together and all of the events that took place. And I don't know, it seems like every single episode, Sherelle has pulled somebody to the side. Hey, TNTG Mom, thank you so much for being here. And she is speaking to everybody and telling you guys to click the like button. She says, but she doesn't know anything about the show. It's actually on Netflix if you have Netflix, and it's a really good show. So it's something a little bit different from what we're used to with Love and Marriage Huntsville. There is some drama, you know. They don't have the type of drama where they're like fighting, although there was one fight on the show, but they're not with, that whole thing with the fighting and everything because these are professional people. And on this show, you will actually see Black excellence, TNTG Mom. So she pulls Jules to the side to talk about, what previously happened because Jules was one of the ones that did have a fight on this show. And Jules is the only clear person on this show. Okay. So a lot of the people in their group felt some kind of way because these are very rich, Black, successful people. So this is not the type of look that they want to have. And it just so happened to be that it was the only clear person in the group that kind of had the fight. But I did give Jules some grace because she was definitely provoked by Sherelle, who came out and asked her some questions when she was in a very vulnerable state. So just to recap what happened. So that same day that they went to this particular Black owned bar, Jules and her off and on boyfriend, he's also the father of her little girl, not an active father, but a father, her father. So they started back messing around and she ended up getting pregnant with a second child. Hey, Soundcheck Annette, thank you so much for being here. And so once she told her baby's father that she was pregnant yet again, he didn't want another child. So he encouraged her to have an AB. So she said that she had the AB on the same day that she went to this bar to meet up with the group. First of all, like Sherelle said, if she just had that type of procedure done, there was no reason for her to be at a bar. First of all, you're still all opened up. You know what I'm saying? Your body is still opened up because so you could have easily gotten some type of infection or just had a setback. That's number one. Number two, after you just had an AB, I would think that you would be in an emotional state because I mean, that's a whole, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into details, but me personally, um, you know what I'm saying? I just would have been in a sad, vulnerable state and I wouldn't have wanted to be around other people. I would have been home sulking or doing whatever I would do to try to soothe myself after going through that experience, me personally. So she should have never been to that bar. So Sherelle, knowing that she had just shared this with Sherelle when Sherelle asked her to come out, Sherelle asked her, did she want to have any more kids, knowing that she had just had the AB. So she was very shocked that Sherelle did that, number one, you know what I'm saying, but in front of everybody. But Sherelle also pointed out a good fact. Everybody at that table were couples. So, they were coupled off. So when you sit at a table with all couples, these type of conversations will come up. So Shamiro did make a good point when she said that. I still felt like it was still insensitive, Sherelle, but you do make a good point. So moving on. So they sat down to have a conversation and, she just told Sherelle that she felt like she was fake. And basically, Sherelle told her that she thought she was fake. So they both agreed that there was a lot of fake energy going on. So Jules had a lot to say about what she didn't like that each of the girls did, in the core group, especially Sherelle bringing up having kids, knowing that she had just had the AB. Ashley and Alexis entered the conversation. And like I said before, I will give Jules grace because that was an awful thing that Sherelle did. But Jules still needs to take some accountability for her actions. And Mama B said she should have never gone to the other table when they called her over. It seemed like a setup. Exactly. She should have stayed over there at the table with, I think it was Stony, and then I think it was MJ. So she went over there to the other table, but then other people start showing up. And one of the people that showed up was the person that she got into a fight with. But if she had been sitting at that table before that person arrived, I don't think a fight would have taken place. So you're absolutely right, Mama Bees. She should have never went over there to that table with those couples. You know what I'm saying? Because mostly everybody at the other couple, I'm sorry, at the other table, with the exception of MJ, who did get up, I want to say, and leave the table as well, are married. So, the conversation got loud and very unprofessional, to be had at a fundraising event. So, Jules became very defensive and eventually she left. You know what I'm saying? She told everybody bye and she left the building. So, the girls went back to shopping and Ashley did point out, see, this is why I didn't want you to have a conversation because it always turns into something ugly, when one of us try to have a conversation. So, and so basically she called Sherelle out for that. So the girls went back to shopping and trying on clothes and all was well. So Alexis, I guess, reached out to Jules and they met up at a bar to discuss the events that took place at the fundraiser because it just seems like a regular occurrence. We meet up at a bar, something pops off, then we meet up at another bar to talk about what pops off. That seems to be a reoccurring thing with this group of friends. So she met up with Jules and to talk about what had happened at the fundraiser. And Alexis did a great job of breaking it all the way down to Jules why what she did was so wrong and how she is not willing to go to jail, you know, for, something that is just not that serious. And her Alexis' whole point was they are in Miami, Florida, which is very racist, and it's a stand your ground type of state. So, if something were to pop off and they go to this black owned establishment with all these black folks, and Julie's the only white person in the establishment, it's like she's going to be the one that's going to take precedence. It's just like they're going to believe her over everybody in the establishment. And they're probably going to come there with their guns drawn. So that's the point that Alexis was trying to make to Jules. She also felt like when you have one white girl in an establishment with all black people, that could have went terribly wrong and someone could have gotten hurt. And she wants Jules to keep this in the back of her mind when she thinks it's okay to just pop off at the drop of a hat. But at this point, Jules has gotten into several altercations with the ladies in this group. So Jules is at a point where she is sick of people trying her. So at this point, nothing was resolved. And I think it's time for Jules to move on from this group because she's not welcomed. She really doesn't fit in. I'm not going to say she doesn't fit in because I think she fits in. It's just that I don't know. Maybe she's coming off too strong, you know. So maybe that's the problem. She's trying to call everybody out. She's trying to, you know, let everybody know like that she's not the one or the two. So, sometimes when you come in a new group, you got to pipe down a little bit until you get to know everybody. And I think that's what it is because these ladies are very, very familiar with each other. So they're going to have each other's back. And some of the ladies that she is cool with, they're just cool. Like they don't have a long standing history together. So they may or may not have her back. So that's why you just can't come into a group that's very well established being all rah rah. Okay. So that's pretty much how that episode ended. Um, and Mama Bees, do you have anything to add? Because I know that you watched the show, and I don't know if you've seen anything outside of the show, like on social media to add to the conversation, maybe. But overall, I really do like the show. And I hope that, they get picked up for another season. She said, not really. Okay, okay, not a problem. So yes, guys, I think I think there's 7 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. So we're nearing the end of this season. So yeah, we're almost there. We're gonna get through it. And I'm glad I stuck with it because like I said, it is actually a good show. With just a little sprinkle of drama, but definitely a great display of Black excellence. And I love the fact that they have a whole like group of very rich and successful Black people. So I love that about the show. It's not like Love and Marriage Huntsville where you can barely find, you know what I'm saying, a group of 6, successful couples or whatever. It appears that they have a very large group of very successful Black people on this show. So I love that about the show. And it's just only getting bigger because if it's up to Sherelle, she's going to bring everybody she meets, into the real estate business. That's just her thing. And I just see, her firm getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is great for them, so that they can all get money together. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have not done so already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please drop down in the comments so that we can keep the conversation going. And please don't forget to like the video if you're catching the replay as well. Thank you guys so much for watching and bye for now.